Good morning, students. Today I welcome you all of you to the next video of physical education. So today we are going to start chapter 2, that is sports and nutrition. So let us see first of all an overview of what are the topics we are going to deal in this chapter. As you can see in the board, that is, first is balanced diet. So we will be dealing with balanced diet, then and nutrition also. We will be dealing with two types of nutrition, that is macro and micro nutrients. We will be also dealing with nutritive and non-nutritive components of diet. We will be dealing with effects of diet on performance. We will be also dealing in the chapter that eating for weight control. Next we will be dealing about what are the pitfalls of dieting, food intolerance and food myths. So let's start. So first we will be discussing about balanced diet. What is balanced diet? The diet which is balanced. Now balance means when all the essential elements are present in the diet in equal proportion, we call that diet as balanced diet. I repeat, when all the essential elements of diet, that is carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, are present in our diet in proper proportion, we call that diet as balanced diet. Every individual does not require same type of diet. Diet differs from individual to individual on the basis of what type of activity he or she is going to inculcate, going to participate with. So it varies. Diet varies from individual to individual. Next is meaning of nutrition. As we all are aware that the science of food and its relationship to health is known as nutrition. Nutrition gives us energy. We as a human beings, we require energy for each and every day-to-day activities. Without energy, we cannot even do a small things. Nutrition deals with the dynamic process in which the food consumed is digested. Nutrients are absorbed, distributed to the tissues for utilization, and wastes are disposed of the body. Moving further. Next. Nutrition are of two types, that is macronutrients and micronutrients. As you can see in the screen, that is, first of all, we are going to cover macronutrients. Macronutrients forms the major part of our diet, constitute the majority of individuals' diet. Next is taken in large amount. Macronutrients are taken in large amount, supply energy and are needed for growth and maintenance of body. So macronutrients also helps in the supply of energy and are needed for growth and maintenance of the body. Next, let us see what are all the essential elements that constitute macronutrients. They are carbohydrates, proteins, fats and water. Next is micronutrients. As we have discussed under macro, that they have or they form the major part, whereas micronutrients forms the smaller proportion. They are required in very small amount. They are extremely significant for normal functioning of body. So micronutrients are very much significant for normal functioning of human body. It also enables various chemical reactions to occur in the body. micronutrients helps various chemical reactions to occur in our body. Next is, what are all the essential elements that are included under micronutrients? So there are two types. Micronutrients include two essential minerals. They are minerals and vitamins. Further, minerals are subdivided into two and vitamins are also subdivided into two. Minerals, types of minerals are macro and micro minerals. And when talking about vitamins, vitamins are of two types again, water soluble and fat soluble vitamins. Moving ahead, minerals, very essential. It is very essential for human diet. Almost 4% of body weight is made up of minerals. It is very much a very vital information that 4% of our body weight is made of minerals only. Minerals are required for healthy teeth, bones and muscles. So they help in the formation of healthy teeth, bones and muscles. Minerals also helps in transmission of nerve impulses. When we talk of transmission of nerve impulses means our nervous system is sending signals and accordingly it is being responded. Next is formation of hormones is also a vital role of minerals. Next is maintenance of heartbeat. So minerals are helping in a way that it helps in transmission of nerve impulse, it helps in the formation of hormones, also it helps in the maintenance of heartbeats. Moving ahead, 0.1 gram of macro minerals are required for human body per day. Next is 0.1 gram of micro minerals are required for human body per day. So it gives us an idea that minerals plays a very vital role in our human body. Next, as you see, the types of minerals, that is macro minerals and micro minerals. So let us see what are all the various minerals that are included under macro minerals and micro minerals. Macro minerals include calcium, potassium, sodium, magnesium and phosphorus. Whereas micro mineral consists of iodine, iron, chromium, copper and cobalt. So now you can see an image. This image consists of all the necessary minerals for human body, that is calcium, magnesium, iron, potassium and manganese. So these are all the sources. As you can see in the picture, the sources of calcium are spinach, broccoli, clary, mustard greens, avocado and kale. So like this, I have tried to categorize the important mineral source for human body along with their sources. Next, we are dealing with vitamins. So what is vitamins? Organic chemical required in very small amount to keep our body healthy. So vitamins are the organic chemicals required in very small amount to keep our body healthy. Next, absence of vitamin means when there will be absence or deficiency of vitamin, what will happen? Absence of vitamins in diet causes deficiency disease. Lot of deficiency disease will occur. So vitamins are again classified under two heads. They are fat soluble vitamins and water soluble vitamins. Fat soluble vitamins means all those vitamins which are soluble in fats, they are considered as fat soluble vitamins. They are vitamin A, D, E and K. water soluble vitamins are all the vitamins which are soluble in water. Water soluble vitamins are vitamin B and vitamin C. Next, as you see in the screen, fat soluble vitamins, vitamin A, D, E and K. And water soluble vitamins, here vitamin B complex has been sub-categorized, that is vitamin B1, B2, B4, B5, B6, B7, B9, B12 and vitamin C. Next we are going to discuss another topic, that is nutritive and non-nutritive components of diet. So here you can see, now whom do we call nutritive components of diet? Now nutritive components of diet means those which are having nutritive value, as you can see, provides energy or calories to the human body. So what are non-nutritive components of diet? Naturally, it will be the opposite of nutritive components of diet. Non-nutritive components of diet does not provide energy. They don't have nutritive value. So they does not provide energy to the human body. Also, they provide fiber and roughage. Non-nutritive components of diet provide water, flavor and color compounds, which we will be discuss further ahead. Now here I have just tried to take help of a tabular form to make you all understand about different sources of nutritive components of diet. So starting with protein. Now I have classified under animal and vegetables. So which are the sources which we will be getting from animals and what are the food sources which we will be getting from vegetables? So starting with protein. First of all, under animals it can be gained from eggs, milk, meat and fish. Proteins from vegetable source, it can be gained from pulses, soybean, mustard, dry fruits and various food grains. Next is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates I have taken it as a whole. So rice, maize, jowar, bajra, pulses, banana, potato, sugar, date and grapes. Next is fats. What are the sources of fats from animal source? That is ghee, butter, fish oil, milk and meat. Similarly, from vegetable source are coconut, mustard, cottonseed, soybean and sunflower seed. Next is nutritive components of diet, that is vitamin. As we were discussing earlier, fat soluble vitamins and water soluble vitamins. That is, first is vitamin A. Now, what are the characteristics of vitamin A? Vitamin A are yellow in color and it destroys the oxidation process. The sources of vitamin A are ghee, milk, curd, egg yolk, fish, tomato, papaya and carrot. Next is vitamin D. The characteristics of vitamin D are, they are colorless. The deficiency of vitamin D can be rickets. Rickets means hollowness in bones or weakening of bones. The sources of vitamin D are egg yolk, fish, sunlight, milk, tomato, carrot, cod liver oil. Next is vitamin E. The characteristics of vitamin E are, it increases fertility and the deficiency would be, it destroys the adrenal gland or it impacts on adrenal glands. The sources of vitamin E are green vegetables, cottonseed, coconut oil, dry and fresh fruits, milk, sprouts and egg yolk. Last one is vitamin K. Now the characteristics of vitamin K are, it helps in clotting of blood. The deficiency of vitamin K can cause anemia sort of disorder. As we all know, anemia means deficiency of blood in the body. The sources of vitamin K are cauliflower, spinach, cabbage, tomato, potato, wheat, egg, green vegetables, meat. Next, water soluble vitamins. B1. The scientific name of B1 is thiamine. So, what are the characteristics of vitamin B1? They are colorless. They metabolizes the carbohydrates. The sources of vitamin B1 are wheat, groundnuts, green peas, orange, egg, green vegetables, rice and sprouts. Next is vitamin B2. B2 is also known as riboflavin. Now, they are yellow in color. They keeps our eyes, nose, mouth healthy. Next, the sources of vitamin B2: egg yolk, fish, pulses, peas, rice, yeast, wheat and green vegetables are the sources of vitamin B2. Next is B3. B3 is having scientific name of pantothenic acid. So the characteristics of B3 is, they help in the growth of body. They are having the deficiency. Deficiency is, humans will be start having gray hair. The sources of vitamin B3 are milk, dry fruits, egg yolk. Egg yolk, yolk means the yellowish portion of egg is known as egg yolk. Next is vitamin B5. B5 is also having its name as nicotinamide. So the characteristics of vitamin B5 is, their deficiency may cause pellagra diseases. It helps in maintaining our body weight. The sources of vitamin B5 are yeast, milk, polished rice and nuts. Next, continuation of the previous slide, that is vitamin B6. The characteristics of vitamin B6 are, they are very much vital for the formation of hemoglobin, and as we all are well aware that hemoglobin means more and more production of blood. Hemoglobin helps in the production of blood in our body. It also keeps our skin healthy. The sources of vitamin B6 are meat, fish, egg yolk, rice, wheat and peas. Moving ahead, vitamin B12. Now the characteristics of vitamin B12 are, they are red in color. Their deficiency may also cause anemia. Anemia means loss of blood in the body. Their sources, the sources of vitamin B12 are egg yolk, fish, pulses, peas, rice, yeast, wheat and green vegetables. Next is folic acid. They are yellow in color. The deficiency of folic acid may cause leukocytes. The sources of folic acid are yeast, spinach and liver. The last one is vitamin C. The characteristics of vitamin C are, they are white in color. They also increase metabolic rate. Their deficiency may cause scurvy. Scurvy means roughness of skin. The sources of vitamin C are lemon, pineapple, grapes, tomato, amla, green chili, spinach, sprouts and turnip. So, yes students, next we are moving on to the minerals. So here you can see a list of minerals which have been enlisted, like calcium, phosphorus, iron, iodine, sodium, potassium, sulfur. So I have tried to make use of tabular form to make you understand the things in a more easier way. So the characteristics of calcium is they help in the growth of teeth, bones. The deficiency of calcium can lead to asthma and rickets. Asthma is a respiratory disorder, and rickets, as we all know, weakening or hollowness of bones. The sources of calcium can be milk, cheese, egg yolk, orange, green vegetables. Next is phosphorus. The characteristics of phosphorus is they help in the formation of teeth and bones. The sources of phosphorus are egg, fish, milk, meat, liver, unpolished rice. Next is iron. What is the characteristics of iron? Iron helps in the formation of hemoglobin, and hemoglobin is very important for the production of blood in human body. The deficiency of iron may cause anemia. Less amount of hemoglobin will be produced in the body, which may lead to loss of blood, that will cause anemia. The sources of iron is meat, egg, dry fruits, liver and green vegetables. Next is iodine. The characteristics of iodine is they help in the growth of thyroid gland. Similarly, the deficiency of iodine may cause goitre, may stop growth. Growth will be having disorder. Proper growth will not be taking place if proper amount of iodine is not present in our body. Let us see the sources. The sources are sea fish, iodized salt. The salt, the table salt, which we are very much habitual of, is the rich source of iodine. All the sea vegetables are also sources of iodine. Next is sodium. Now sodium, the characteristics of sodium is sodium balances water in the body. So it also helps in the contraction of muscles, as contraction of muscles are very vital to perform any activity. Next, the sources of sodium are common salt, milk, milk products, meat and egg. Next is potassium. The deficiency of potassium may cause weakness in muscles. The sources of potassium are carrot, beetroot, onion, tomato, orange and banana. Next is sulfur. Now sulfur helps in cells of the body. They also helps in the formation of hair and nail. The sources of sulfur are egg, radish, pulses, carrot, peas, spinach and tomato. Now, so far we were discussing about nutritive components of diet. Now we are starting with non-nutritive components of diet. Means they don't have any nutritive value or they don't give energy to the human body. So the first one under non-nutritive components of diet are fiber, or we can also call it roughage. Now let's see. What is roughage? The portion of our food which is undigested by the human body are called fiber or roughage. Food component which cannot be digested by intestinal tract are termed as fiber or roughage. It has no nutritive value. fiber or roughage has no nutritive value. They add bulks of food and satisfy the appetite. It prevents constipation also. Next is, roughage are of two types. They are soluble and insoluble. They are soluble in water and they are not soluble in water. Next, that is, soluble fiber reduces blood sugar level and lowers cholesterol level in human body. Insoluble fiber is good for stool softener. As you can see, 30 gram of fiber is recommended for adults per day. Decreases the risk of heart. Fiber or roughage also helps in the decreasing the risk of heart patients. What are the sources? Sources are wheat, fresh fruits, vegetables, oats. Now, fiber connects the connective tissues of meat and fish. Next type of non-nutritive component is water. As we all know that water are the essential components of our diet. Blood comprises of 90% of water. It regulates our body temperature. Next, it functions as lubricant, keeps skin moist and protects the body from shock. That is why it is said again and again that we must consume more and more amount of water in summer seasons. Next is color compound. As the name is color compound, they provide color, they provide attractive color to our food. So food becomes more appetizing and attractive by color. Natural pigments are found in fruits and vegetables. The color from animal products and grains are less light bright. Number 4. Next type of non-nutritive component is flavor compound. So it also does not have any nutritive value, whereas they enhance the taste of the food. So flavors are derived from both nutritive and non-nutritive components of food. It is acidic food provides sour taste. So flavor compounds provide a sour taste. Next is, it is alkaline food provides bitter taste. So these are the two forms, acidic food and alkaline food. Next is plant compound. We use plant compound in our food. It contains other non-nutritive substances like tea, coffee, as it contains caffeine. Next, moving ahead, now we have understood about various essential nutrients of diet. Now let's see what are the effects of diet on performance level. So starting with fat. How fats are going to help? The purpose is major source of fuel. So fats act as major source of fuel. Also, they protects vital organs of human body. The effect on performance. Various sports require different proportional of fat to muscles. Extra fat diminishes the performance. Means up to some level fat is good. Anything in excess is always harmful. So keeping it that extra fat diminishes, reduces our performance level. Next, essential element is carbohydrate. Carbohydrate helps in muscular contraction. They gives major fuel for muscular contraction. Carbohydrates are the sources of energy in human body. Carbohydrates increases the endurance level. It lowers the level of carbohydrate, results in exhaustion. More the energy in the body, the individual will resist for longer duration of time for doing any activity. Next one is protein. The purpose, they help in necessary growth of tissues. Protein helps in the growth and repair of worn out tissues. Protein is used as a fuel for muscular work, but does not have significant effect on performance. Next is minerals. The purpose of mineral is, it is very much essential for good health. Now let us see the effect of performance. So minerals help in deficiency, decreases performance. Sweating reduces the amount of sulfur and other minerals in the body. Excess amount of salt intake can lead to sodium loss and extra water retention. Next is water. Essential for life and has no caloric values. Now let's see the effect of on performance. Deficiency decreases performance. Cause risk of central nervous disorders. The last one is vitamin. Vitamins are essential for good health. The effects of on performance, body cannot store large amount of vitamins. That is why they pass out through urine. It puts extra load on our excretory organs. Now, the next topic is eating for weight control, means how to maintain a healthy weight. It is very important in the present scenario that everybody wants to be slim. So how to maintain a healthy weight? Let us know. So here is a chart of BMI, that is height, weight. What should be the ideal height and weight for male and female? Next is method to calculate BMI, that is body mass index. It is the BMI only which tells us whether the individual's body weight or the according to height is appropriate or not. So the formula to calculate BMI is, we need to calculate the weight of the individual in kilogram, followed by height should be measured in meters. So the formula to calculate BMI is weight in kilogram upon height in meter square. So this is the category which you all have been taught in class 11 also under the chapter test and measurement. Moving ahead. Next, here are some of the methods of controlling healthy body weight. Means how to control healthy body weight. The first one is set the appropriate goal. We must set appropriate goal at first. Next one is lay stress on health, not on weight. We as an individual, we must lay stress on our health, not on weight lose or weight control program. Many of the individuals are laying much of the stress on reducing weight. In the process, they stop intaking major nutrients, which leads to health issues. Third one is cut calories intake. wherever possible, we can cut calorie intake. For normal human beings, for normal human body, 2800 kilocalorie is required per day. So, keeping in mind, we should intake such food which maintain the demand of calories in human body. Fifth one is follow active lifestyle. The individual must follow active lifestyle. Active lifestyle consists of participating in various physical activities which helps them to maintain the fitness level. Next is take support from family and friends. Family and friends plays a major role in controlling healthy body weight. We should not listen to others about increased body weight and come under depression. It is a very negative thing. If required, we must seek help from our parents, from friends regarding how to reduce body weight. Next is yogic exercises, a very common, very demanding. Regular yogic exercises not only helps the individual to remain physically fit, but it also helps the individual to reduce his or her increased body weight. Next, avoid junk and fast foods. In present era, junk food or the fast foods are high on demand. People like more to consume junk foods or the fast foods because they take very small time to cook. So, but the reality is they contains lot of fats in it which can later on deteriorate the human health. Next is do not skip meals. When we hear from others that we are increasing our weight, we start skipping meals. That is again very, very dangerous. We should not skip meals because skipping meals have adverse effect on human body. We are restricting the major nutrients. So far we have learned all the essential elements of diet. So by restricting a diet, we are skipping or we are restricting the essential elements of diet to enter our body. Avoid alcohol, smoking and drugs. So one must avoid the wrong practices, the bad habits that are drinking alcohol, smoking and drug addiction should be totally stopped. Last one is regular exercise and physical activity. These two are the key factor for maintaining a healthy body weight. Next is the pitfalls of dieting. Under pitfalls of dieting, pitfalls means the negative effects, the wrong effects. What are the wrong outcomes of pitfalls of dieting? The first one is extreme reduction of calories. When we starve, what happens? There is extreme reduction in calories. We are not taking food, so calories are not getting inside our body. So it don't meet up the regular demand also, that is 2800 of kilocalories. Second one is restriction of some nutrients. When we skip meal, when we starve, naturally it restricts some nutrients. Skipping meals, again, it is very, very dangerous. We should not skip meals. Rather, we should have the practice of eating healthy. Eat small portion in small intervals. Next is intake of calories through drinking. So, we should intake calories through drinking, through the healthy drinks. Nowadays in the market, lot of sports drinks are available, lot of health drinks are available in the market. Underestimating the calories. So, one should not underestimate the calorie. The calories which are required according to day-wise must be fulfilled. Next is intake level of foods. So labeled food should be intake. Last one is not performing exercise. When an individual is not performing exercise on regular basis, it may lead to obesity because it lacks activeness. So yes, dear students. So with this we come to the end of today's session. For a quick review, today we have covered nutrition, we have covered types of nutrition, that is nutritive and non-nutritive components of diet. We have discussed about how to keep our body weight healthy. Next, we have discussed the pitfalls of diet. So with this, we come to the end. Tomorrow again, we will come with new topics. Thank you all of you. Stay safe. God bless us all.